Hey guys, hope you're having a wonderful day today. Now this video is going to be all about our Sunday and what our family has done in the past and what we do now for our Sunday. In our home, Sunday is a day for worship and a day for rest. Now we used to always, before we did church, we just did whatever that day and would go out and do things, or we use it to sleep, or we use it to just go do whatever we wanted to do. Sometimes we would clean that day. And then I've learned over the years, even when I had lots of little ones, some days, like my weeks would be so busy, because I understand mamas with all your babies, that was your day to like, okay, my husband's home, I'm finally gonna get some things done, and I would clean. And so I felt like I could catch up on chores and stuff that day, and then I didn't truly rest that day. And I've just learned that when the Lord says that He made 6 days for work and 1 day for rest, whatever day you take your day of rest, I really truly believe that's for a reason. It's for our well-being. So we have learned that we like to rest on Sunday, and resting for us is going to be different than resting for other people. We like to do church in the morning, and then we also like to spend some time together as a family. And that might be like going hiking, like a nice hike, not a crazy hike, or go to the lake, things like that, or spending time together that way, just because we're together as a family, and that's what we do. We don't go with other people. Sunday is usually our day for our family, because it's the 1 day a week that we really get to spend just time with Daddy and us all together. So what do we do to prepare for Sundays? And so the night before, I make sure that everybody has clothing and shoes set out. Now that my children are older, I don't have to worry so much about getting like when they were little, I used to have to make sure that all their church clothes were out the night before. I got all their shoes out, all their socks out, underwear, everything all laid out, so that Sunday morning was very easy for me. Now I only usually have to get clothes for the boys picked out, because they would just wear t-shirts. And so I usually just grab their shirts and pants out and put it out for them to put on, and they put it on themselves now. But back in the day when I had all the little ones and it was just me taking care of them, I got everything out the night before. I made sure everything was clean, that their shoes were clean, and so I could be prepared. So that was set out the night before. We get up in the morning, we have an easy breakfast. And so sometimes in church we would just do cereal, sometimes we would do oatmeal, depending on what we were doing, just something simple so I could feed them and we could get everybody ready and on time. They get dressed. I get the children dressed after they eat, so they didn't spill food on them. And then we brush their teeth, do their hair, and wash their faces. That's something I did it just in succession with all the little ones. I had a little hair box, and so in my hair box, I still have a hair box, and it's got my bows and my spray bottle to wet their hair, and combs and brushes and mousse and whatever else kind of things I need for hair is all in the hair box. And so I can do all their hair, put it all up. The girls get their hair pulled back with bows, and the boys get their hair with mousse in it and pulled back really nice. They look good. So that's all done. Check them and give them a once over, make sure their faces are clean, make sure everything's good, and then they're ready to go. I don't allow TV or tablets before church. Sometimes a kid will get up and he'll start grabbing their tablet. I'm like, no. You have to get completely ready, and then when you're completely ready with your shoes on, then you can go get your tablet. That's my rule. And so that way they can do that before. I don't mind doing that a few minutes before we go out the door. And so we do that. Now, back before, when our church was a little bit further away, our church now is only about 10 minutes from our house. So it's real quick to just come home and have lunch. But before, we were driving about 40 minutes to church. And so I would always, every Sunday, this is what we took. We would take either sandwiches that we made the night before. We did a lot of like club sandwiches was good. But then I've learned that just taking a tortilla and some peanut butter, that's it, and just put it on the tortilla, and that will ward off their stomachs until we get home and they can have some food. And so that was something we always got. I'd always have the girls grab the water bottles, and then we'd grab a package of tortillas and a thing of peanut butter and a butter knife, and that's it. And we would take that, so that right as soon as church was done, I'd go out to the van, I'd make their sandwiches, and then they would eat that on the way home, and then we'd come home and have a meal. But now what we do, Daddy likes to go get donuts every Sunday and coffee, and so that's his special treat. That's their reward if they've been good, at church, because we're dealing with them sitting well, and so everybody pretty much can sit by themselves. The boys kind of get a little bit where they'll start talking and playing in church, but they're like 5 years old. They're just boys. So we're working on just like, okay, if you do good and I don't have to tell you not to do something wrong, then you can have a donut. And so we get donuts every Sunday. That's what Daddy does. So we stop on the way home to get donuts and coffee, come home, and then we have a meal. But before, we used to always take something with us. And for our church service, we all sit together for worship. Not everybody does this. We like having everybody together to worship God. I feel like the pastor of the church, the leader of the church, he is like the number one choice to teach us and our family. And so the church that we're at now is pretty big. We have like over 1,000 person church, and so it's a pretty big congregation. They have a great, excellent youth program, excellent children's program, all of that whole thing. And so they have excellent pastors for each of those, and very, very good with those. So what we do is we always go to worship together, to church together. That's what we do as a family. If the kids went to go to classes before, we usually go to the service because we have 2 services. So they'll go before to the service before, and then they would do classes, and then afterwards we would go to worship together. And there's usually some kind of group that my husband and I can go to. So we do that a lot as well, but we still get worship together as a family. Not everybody does that. I understand the reason for children's church. I understand the reason for nursery. Great ministries, because I know there are a lot of mamas out there that do not get a break, and I understand that completely, 100%. So I'm all for nurseries. I'm all for children's church, because I understand that there's a need for it. But I also, for our family, I feel like I want them to learn to sit for services. I want them to learn to sit for an hour and listen and pay attention. Even if they're not completely getting it, they're still learning that, what it is to go to church. So that's what we do. When we come home, I have the little girls, they usually take off their dresses. I have them hang them up usually because they're not dirty. They'll throw them in the laundry, and I'm like, oh, why do I, Monday will come and I'm like, why am I washing these clothes? I know they're not dirty. So I usually have them hang them up, put them back in their closet because they're usually pretty clean, anything, socks, all that kind of stuff, to put that away. And I have them put their shoes away as well. If we brought anything with us, I'd have them put that away as well. And then I start on my dinner for the day. I usually, right now, I've always had something larger. We usually just have a large meal for Sunday. It depends on our seasons in life. Even back in the day, when we were home all the time, we didn't go out as much as we do now, we would still have one big meal. So I would have it in the oven, usually cooking and warm, so that when we got home we can eat it. This month, what I'm doing, if you watch my videos here, you'll see that we're gonna have our meal that we're gonna have on Saturday. So I'm either gonna have pizza, lasagna, or spaghetti leftovers, and that's gonna be our after church meal. So we have that. And then we used to always do something smaller later, like a sandwich or something, or just leftovers. That's what we did when we had little ones, something simple, because they're happy with peanut butter and jelly sandwich when they were little, or crackers, they were good. So now what we do is we do our lake, because it's summertime, it's warm out, so we always take hot dogs with us, and we have, and you'll see in this video what we did for our Sunday, when what we take is just simple, easy meal, just something to eat, but they've already filled up on pasta that earlier in the day. Like I've said, this day is for relaxing, taking a nap. I mean, if we're tired, it's been a long, long week. Usually my husband's working all week long, and the last thing he wants to, even though he's tired, the last thing he wants to do is stay in bed all day. And so he says, honey, unless he's really tired, then yes, I understand he'd want to take a nap, but that's rarely happened. He usually wants to get out and do something. And so we always go. We go do something. We pack up, and you've seen all my videos of how we can pack up for the lake really quick. We do that a lot, and we just go and we just enjoy this video, get to see what we did on this day. There's just, or we relax. If it's raining and yucky and we can't do anything, we might just kind of chill and watch movies, take a nap. I know there's been a few Sundays I'll lay in bed and the kids are like, Mom, are you sick? And so I said, no, I'm just relaxing. I'm taking a rest, because I never take a rest. And so that's what we do on our Sundays. We just do it. I don't do laundry. I don't wash anything. If I had little babies, which I have on a Sunday, if I had diapers or something that I had to do, I would wash it. But if not, I usually would try to wait for Monday. There's no cleaning. I mean, we went to a Monday night church and they didn't do any. I had a child that had a potty accident, and I actually needed to wash their bedding. And so it was Sunday, and they were kind of like, looked at me like, wait a minute, we don't do laundry on Sunday. And I didn't even think like, oh, you don't even do laundry on Sunday. So one of those things that they literally took it that good, and I understand why they don't do that. So, but if I need to do something because I'm going to run out of diapers, then I would do the laundry. I do dishes because we have to eat. Sometimes I'll wait, like when we come home Sunday night after the lake and there's a big giant mess, I don't usually wash those. I usually put them in the sink, and then Monday I clean them up. I don't usually pick too much stuff out. When we come from the lake, we put it all on the deck and leave it for Monday. That's usually what we do. It's most of the time we get by with the minimum and then pick it up on Monday. Usually Monday's our bigger day. I don't do the bathrooms. I don't wipe all that up unless there is an extreme mess in there, but there should not be an extreme mess in there. But if I was potty training or a child was learning to use the toilet, I might just wipe that toilet that they're using. It just depends on my season in life. Don't be so set on like, oh my goodness, I can't wipe the bathroom at Sunday. Just don't worry about like the super cleaning. Just get by with what you can get by. That's what you do. Like when the children come home, I might say, okay, pick up your stuff. Or if they've left all their stuff in the house, okay, pick up your stuff at night, so it's not just such a big mess the next day. But for the most part, we don't do a whole lot. Now remember, don't get caught up on the whole legalistic part of it. You know, our world is made that we have to have some things open on Sundays. Hospitals have to work on Sundays. Doctors have to work on Sundays. Our police force has to work on a Sundays. The electric company has to work on Sundays. So it's not about what's right, what's wrong, what can you do, what can you not do. Can I not wash the dish? Can I do this? Don't be that way. Just try to think, is this something I can put off until tomorrow? If you've got a tight ship and you've got like 6, 7 kids all under 5 years, or 6, 7 kids, 6 kids under 5 years old, and it's so busy, and if you literally did not do anything and then left it off for the next day, you would fall apart, then do something. Does that make sense? And so I know when I had lots of little babies, I still had to pick up, I still had to clean up, I still had to clean the floor, I had to vacuum it because, or whatever, because that was just the season of life and the baby was touching it, or whatever the reason was, just don't get so caught up in the legalistic part of it. Do what you can do for your family. Ask the Lord. The Lord will tell you, am I doing too much? Can that toilet wiping wait till tomorrow? Do I have to do this laundry? Is this something I need to do? And so I found even now, once in a while, I'll be like, okay, I'm not really doing anything. It was raining and we're home, and I'm like, I'm gonna throw some laundry in so I'm all set for tomorrow. And I might do something beforehand. And then I think I'm like, you know what, I could have just rested or took it easy and did something like that. And so, but it's your choice. You choose what you want to do. So the rest of this video, I'm going to do what we did for our Sunday. This was more dedicated for my husband. And so he's a great guy. He always, my number one love is the lake. I love the beach. I love sitting in the sun. I love going in the water. That's my favorite thing. And so he loves fishing, and he loves going to the river. Me, the river is dirty, but I know the river's cleaner probably than the lake because it's fresh water coming out of the mountain. But as you're going to see, you're going to watch and see, it's just, just in marriage, you give and take, you do what the other person wants. And he's like, honey, you can stay home, I'll do this. And I'm like, no, I'll go, it'll be great. So it was good. We went and it rained the whole time, well, most of the time. And it was good though. The kids had fun. They had a great time making memories. They all love fishing. They all love it. So I'm very thankful for a husband that takes the time with his kids and shows them the good outdoors and all that kind of stuff. So, okay, you enjoy and watch. So fishing to me is super boring. By the time you get all the fly rods out for everybody, it's like an hour later. So he's got one done and he's working on baiting everybody else. So it's like ice skating. Like ice skating in the wintertime, I feel like it takes you an hour to get everybody's stuff on, and then they're out there for like a half hour and they're done. So but they're loving it. Kids are loving it. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. I'm more of a beachy, lakey kind of person, but it's good. It's pretty. Once they're all out there, they'll have a good time. So kind of sprinkling, but the sun will come back out, and then we'll barbecue, and it'll be a nice night. So this is our Sunday. Super relaxing. I woke up and got ready for church. I threw all of our spaghetti from yesterday. We had our spaghetti. Remember, I'm doing spaghetti and lasagna on Saturday. So I got spaghetti in the crock pot. I had to cook a little bit more noodles because we didn't have that much more yesterday. And then we had that for when we got home with our leftover salad and watermelon. And for today, I grabbed hot dogs. I grabbed a whole watermelon. I grabbed a can of baked beans. And then I get some cucumbers and celery and some snap peas for us to snack on today. So it'll be very easy. There's a little ice cream place on the way out. We'll probably stop it, I'm sure. So this is it. This is just fun, family, relaxing day. Just like the Lord intended, relaxation. Even though I don't feel relaxed because I'm sitting here in my uncomfort zone. But it's good. My husband's so good about trying to make me comfy. But it's good. Everybody else can have fun time. And I got me Brooklyn here. Brooklyn's like her mama. She says, what? What's this water, Brooklyn?
It's dirty and I don't like the mud.
It's dirty.
It needs to be sand.
It's sand, but see, it's
Sand?
dirt. It's sand.
Yeah, but it's muddy and sand.
It's not muddy. It's like the cleanest river.
That right there is her mama's girl.
United States.
This is the cleanest water, supposedly, my husband says, but it just feels dirty. So, but it's fun. They're having a good time. Maxine's barking to keep everybody away, so she barks and barks and barks, and everybody runs away. So it's clearing out our area right now. But it's good. Kids are having fun, making memories. That's what it's all about. So they're doing good. We're going to see who the first one is to catch a fish. Okay. Go ahead, Autumn. Oh, Jaden too.
No one's caught a fish yet.
No one. Who's going to be the first one?
Stop catching here.
So fun. It's good. Maxine's loving it. It sure is pretty. A good family day, spending time, relaxing, just chilling in the dirty water. No, it's not dirty. I'm just kidding. It is natural, like water. It just feels dirty because it's like dirt. It's a good time. There's Maxine. Maxine's loving it. She's barking. She's like scratching, trying to get at everything. Colin's got her there. Try to keep her from everything. Okay, here we are. Downpour rain. North Carolina rain. They don't care. There's Maddie. That's right. Should have went to Lake Jocassee, she says. I will. Autumn's gonna make a sandcastle for Maxine. Maxine don't like the rain. Oh, you get something? Oh, here goes Brooklyn. Go ahead, Maddie.
All right, Mimi, good job, buddy. What? How to do it?
Here's Brooklyn. It's wet, Steven.
It's raining.
Okay, we got Steven and Maddie. What are you guys making?
Soup.
Soup.
I'm making mint out of this.
Mint soup?
I'm making mommy cabbage.
Mommy cabbage soup?
And
Let's
then
see.
Daddy wants trout soup.
Mint soup. Good.
Drink out of this.
Oh, don't drink. No, don't drink out of that for real.
Daddy wants trout soup.
Trout soup. And here's the girls still fishing in the rain. Still raining. Ooh.
Good.
Sun's out, but it's so rainy. So Maxine, look at Maxine. Maxine is underneath Mommy. Maxine! She's shivering. She's under Mommy's chair. She don't like the rain. She don't like the rain.
She's soaking wet.
She's soaking wet.
Jaden has it.
So like I said, my husband will come with me and sit at the lake for hours, usually every Sunday. And so this is a good thing I got to do, is sit at the dirty river for him. So it's good. Marriages are good like that. Give and take. Do what the other person wants to do. Plus the kids are having a great time fishing. They're loving it. So this actually turned out to be a good day. So we had a wonderful time. I'm gonna go cook some hot dogs here in a little bit, and then we'll eat, and then we'll have to head home. And my son, he came home for the day today, so we visited with him, and then he is going to head back tonight so we can finish off camp. So, okay, you can watch some more. Okay, so I totally got the charcoal briskets and did not get any lighter fluid. So Colin's over there trying to light it for like the last 20 minutes. He's awesome. So I'm like, okay, he said he's going to get going. So I got watermelon. I pulled out our peanut butter and cranberries for things. Open the pickles. And here's the girls. They're feeding Maxine a piece of watermelon. Look at her.
No.
She loves it. Okay, here's Colin. He totally made the fire. Look at that.
That's right.
I didn't have any charcoal fluid, and everything is soaking wet, and he made our fire. So look at, there's a black mark on the hot dogs.
Just love it.
It's already cooked. Good job,
That's
Colin.
mom's hot dog.
Did a good job. I think those can of beans will get cooked too. What do you think? Colin do a good job?
With this buddy.
Did Colin do good?
Sticks.
Yeah. Goofy.
And a little match.
And one little match, right?
Match.
So we'll just
A
leave
bunch of matches.
we'll leave this here for somebody
Like
else.
10.